Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Football Fignuts podcast. This is Season 7, Episode 18. And if you're keeping track of all these episodes overall, this is episode number 293. My name is Britt.
And I'm Craig.
Craig, we're back. I am back after a week off for work purposes. I am excited to be back. I am live right now on my Twitch account. So hopefully we've got a couple of viewers who have some things they would like to ask us. But let's start where we always start. Craig, what are you drinking tonight?
So tonight, because, my professional football season is over, I have a glass of Woodford Reserve.
Oh, geez, yeah. I hear that. Craig was over here for our Friendsgiving this past weekend, and we drained about 90% of a bottle of Oban with
that was good. Thank you for
Oban.
Sharing. That was very good.
Oh, have you not had Oban before?
Only time I would have had it is if you had it, so I don't remember offhand.
And I think the last time I was talking to Sean about it while he was here, I think the last time I had it, it was during my Warcraft playing days, and you weren't hanging out with us as readily then. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever brought Oban home before. But I went, oh my God. All right, let's start there really quick. I went to the liquor store Sunday, and I wanted to get a bottle of like 12 or 14-year-old scotch because Friendsgiving is like an important event for us.
Yeah.
And my first choice is always the Macallan. I love the Macallan. It is smoky. It is dank. I know I've given you the Macallan before. Yep. It is my favorite scotch in the world. 5 or 6 years ago, you get a bottle of that scotch, $55-$60 easy. I walk into the store, 12-year-old Macallan is $97 a bottle.
Wow. And which one do you usually like? Do you usually get the 12 one? Was that your go-to?
Just the 12. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy, just the 12. You can get 10-year-old Macallan. They didn't have any of the 10. All they had was the 12 and the cask strength, and the cask strength was over $100 a bottle. I was just like, holy crap. So now I'm like, listen, I know I'm spending between $50 and $75. It's not like I'm thinking I'm going to come in here and get a decent bottle of scotch for like $30. Right. I ain't looking to buy Johnny Walker. But, I'm looking for a bottle of black. I'm looking for something above that. That's like that. There's how you know how fancy an evening is. Is it black fancy? Is it more fancy than black, or is it black or less? That's how you. That's the Brit line. So I'm looking, and I look, and there's a bottle of Oban, and it's only $67. And I went, that's 14-year-old Oban. Why is it only $67? And so when I brought it to the counter, I said, can you just check this for me? And he goes, it rings up at like $68.50. And I'm like, fine, I'll take it. I was like, it blows my mind how some of these liquors, the prices are just going crazy, particularly in the Scotch market. But yes, it was very, very good. So, and I have a little bit left, and I'm saving it for tomorrow night. It's going to be my reward for surviving my family.
Hey, that's a good idea and a very good reward to yourself.
That's it. So, what am I drinking? I am drinking Two Roads Holiday Ale. Cue the music. Since he'll insert the music.
I will.
For those of you in the live stream, you don't get the music. Sorry. But my favorite beer of all time is back on the market. It is very good this year. And I'm very excited to be having it. So we're definitely having a beer tonight and talking some football, which means let's run right into our next segment. Let's talk some burning hot takes. Craig, would you like to give or receive this week?
I will receive, and a quick note to Cinch, you have to take a picture of that QR code. So there you go.
Is he still working on this?
He's on his TV and he can't hear us. I think. I don't know. We'll have to fix this over the weekend.
Yeah, dude, don't listen. If just get it to a point where you can hear us, and don't worry about signing in on Twitch. We'll get you there. Don't worry. Okay, so you want to receive?
Yeah.
So a lot going on. Earlier today, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk published a piece entitled "Jim Irsay Threatens to Sue ESPN's First Take." Apparently, Jim Irsay has suggested on Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel that his 2014 arrest was not for alcohol or drugs, but because he is a white millionaire. So First Take decided to have conversations about it, and they referenced alcohol and they referenced drugs. And Jim Irsay took issue with that. Quote, First Take, you're gonna get your ass sued. Because there was no, all in caps, the word no, there was no alcohol, no illegal drugs. $29,000 is low for me to be carrying in 2014 arrest. I give away $2,000 to $10,000 to the homeless and needed on the street all the time and pass it on, making the world better. Now, I want to say those pauses are not because I didn't know the statement. It's that he put commas in odd places.
So, wait. So he gives $10,000 to a homeless guy, and he wants the homeless guy to pass it on?
Let me read it with the punctuation.
Okay.
$2,000 to $10,000 to the homeless and needed on the street, comma, all the time, and pass it on, comma, making the world better, comma.
I don't.
You ever watch any of those ghost hunter shows where they use like the radios that cycle through frequencies and you just catch bits of words? That's what this reads like.
Yeah.
This reads like you pushed random buttons on a radio and then just made a sentence out of it.
He's everyone's favorite drunk uncle NFL owner.
Now, before I ask for your response to this, because that's the question, is how do you respond? What is your take on this? He doesn't stop there.
Oh.
Quote, my grandparents came across Ellis Island, comma, with just the shirts on their back, penniless and escaping Jewish concentration camps. I grew up in a horrible home where both my brother and sister died in a car crash in 1971. I worked for my living, / bought 30% of the Colts bank loan, end quote. I want to point out, too, that he capitalizes Ellis Island, because it's a proper noun, right?
Okay, yep, that's fine.
He capitalizes Jewish concentration camps, which...
The J should be, I think, yeah.
And he capitalizes car crash.
Was it all caps?
No, just the C's.
Oh, okay.
I don't... Craig, is there any... can you make any sense out of this? Do you sympathize with his take at all on this?
I don't, it's not... Clearly, it's not good that his siblings died in a car crash.
Right.
Or what happened to his grandparents. That's one thing, or two things. Mm-hmm. But him being arrested because he was a rich white guy makes no sense.
Yeah, it's... Everybody who knows me from this podcast and knows me in real life knows I am what the conservatives likes to call woke. Like it's this terrible, insulting thing to be woke. I get it. I can't have pity for a guy who's a white millionaire, and I cannot believe in this kind of a situation, I should say. And what you're telling me is that you weren't drunk, you weren't intoxicated. You just happened to be driving around erratically enough to get pulled over. And that the reason you were pulled over is because you were traveling with nearly $30,000 and you're rich. That's what got you thrown into jail?
I would start with the driving part first, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There has been, I'm sure these court records are closed because he cut a deal. So we would never, he can sit here and say this all day long, and the police officer who arrested him can laugh and say in the comfort of his own living room, oh, that guy was fucking tanked. But it's insane to me that this is where we're at. Listen, NFL owners are not heroes. Except Jerry Jones, presented by Jerry Jones.
I was about to say that.
NFL owners are not heroes. They are people, and they are rich people, and they are not always good rich people.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, you really can't say really much after that.
And to go crazy political for a moment here. These are people who are not good people, and they still wouldn't let Donald Trump join their club. Every time he's tried to buy a piece of an NFL team, they've told him to fuck off. Think about that for a half a heartbeat. Guys who are they commit sexual harassment, the Washington Commanders and Daniel Snyder.
Yep.
They don't pay people Al Davis was famous for firing coaches and then saying it was with cause, even though it may not have been, and having to get sued to pay people. They're not great people, and even they were like, "Nah, man, that's the line. That's the line. Don't let that guy in." Terry chimes in as a rich white millionaire, he concurs. So yeah, based on the number of drinks Terry bought us in Vegas, I believe he's a rich white millionaire. So okay, moving on. What have you got for me tonight?
For me, I just want to know your thoughts on a recent firing that hasn't happened on a team since the 40s.
Oh, here we go with the Steelers.
The Steelers and Matt Canada, whose new wrestling name will now be something else involving a leaf or hockey or something. He got fired. So he is no longer the offensive coordinator of the Steelers. I don't know who is now. But yeah,
I think they elevated the quarterback coach.
They don't fire people. That's not their thing.
I want you guys to recognize one thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers. As much as I malign them on this podcast, they have had 3 coaches in the last 60 years.
Yeah.
It has been Tomlin. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on him? The guy before Tomlin.
What's his face with the jaw?
He's on CBS now. Yes. Cowher.
There you go.
Tomlin, Cowher, Knoll. Those 3 guys are the only 3 coaches that they have had in over 60 years. I don't have it right in front of me. The Steelers don't do this. But the pressure, I think, is so strong in Pittsburgh for them to be better than they are. And I don't know that it's Matt Canada's fault. I know that people have been screaming that Najee Harris was being overused, that Najee Harris should be taking a backseat role. He clearly wasn't able to carry the full load, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name again. I want to call him Jalen Waddle, and that's not right. The backup to...
yeah, him.
I normally have the depth charts in front of me. Oh
my God, Chuck Noll was the coach of the Steelers from 1969 to 1991.
And he was succeeded by Cowher.
Yeah, from 92 to 2006.
I'm sorry, you said what year? 1960 what?
1969 to 1991.
So that means in 54 years, they've had 3 coaches.
That's bonkers.
That's insane by NFL standards. Insane. Hold on, I'm pulling up the Steelers depth chart. I'm Jalen Warren. See, I had the right letters. It was Jalen, it was a W, but I was saying Jalen Waddle in my head, and that's not right. They wanted Jalen Warren to have a bigger role, and when they got a bigger role, he started to produce, and everybody was like, see, Canada's system doesn't work. You know what doesn't work? Kenny Pickett. You know what doesn't work? George Pickens. These are your issues. It doesn't help that Pat Freiermuth had a catastrophic injury and is going to miss the majority of the season. Matt Canada, I don't think Matt Canada... You see a lot. Let me take a step back here. You see a lot where coordinators become the sacrificial lamb for their head coach. The head coach is struggling, but they got to do something, so they fire an offensive coordinator. I don't think this is one of those situations, but I don't think Matt Canada himself was the problem. We will see this week when the Steelers have a new offensive coordinator, how they react. And if they react strongly, kind of like Vegas did when they got rid of McDaniel. Now, granted, that was a head coach, slightly different. But Vegas came out like a ball of fire. New quarterback, new attitude. And they won, 2 games? 2 out of 3 games? Since McDaniel's been fired? So,
yeah.
What's your take on? I think they had to do this. It was shocking they did it midseason.
Yeah, I think that division. After this past week, I don't know.
That division's a shit show. The Steelers are 6-4.
They are, and they've literally done nothing.
They're 2 games behind the Ravens.
They're in
the wild card chalk. They're in the wild card conversation at 6-4. They're not catching the Ravens. They're not catching the Ravens at the Ravens 8-3.
No, the Ravens are 8-3. The Browns are 7-3. How the hell did that happen?
Same thing with the Lions, right? The last time the Lions and Browns both had 7 wins in their first 10 games, the New York Jets were the defending champions.
That is insane.
It is. I really want the Lions to make the Super Bowl just because they're the only original team that hasn't.
That would be pretty cool. I would be okay with that.
Which leads me to my secondary question, which is a really quick side question.
Yeah.
Going into the season, we kind of assumed, the holiday ale's coming up. And not in a bad way. It's just, I just took a sip of holiday ale. We assumed this was going to be another year of the AFC to really be the premier side of the league. The Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills, the Ravens. All these teams were up and coming, and we just assumed, or many of us assumed, that the AFC was going to be the conference to watch. Hasn't really turned out that way. I am starting to wonder if this isn't a sneaky year for the NFC to make some noise. And for the NFC to sneak into the Super Bowl and just wow us.
I mean, it's possible. Like, if hypothetical land, if the season ended right now, the Ravens and the Eagles would have the bye. And then this would be the playoff schedule. You would have the Steelers at the Chiefs. You would have the Texans at the Jaguars.
Fucking Texans. Are they seriously leading their division?
Yeah, they're 6-4. And then the Browns are 7-3, who would play the Dolphins, who are also 7-3.
So your Bills and your Bengals nowhere to be found.
No, none. And then on the NFC, you'd have the Vikings at the Lions.
Oh dear, I got a drink.
You'd have the Seahawks at the 49ers, and you'd have the Cowboys at the Saints. If the playoffs started, this week.
If Philly stays injury free, I don't see any team that's going to get by Philly in that kind of scenario.
Except the Jets.
Well, here's the thing. What if Philly does suffer a setback? Are we actually opening the door for the Cowboys to go back to the Super Bowl because everybody else just is so mediocre?
All right, I think you're drunk.
I'm 2 beers in.
I don't think that if the Lions keep playing the way they are and the 49ers of who they are, I don't see the Cowboys being able to get past either of them.
Welcome to the Super Bowl halftime show presented by Jerry Jones. Now, please welcome your master of ceremony, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, looking down the list, like Buffalo would be in 8th place, like in the FC, and the Bengals would be behind the Colts and the Broncos right now.
Can I just toss out a unique and very interesting possibility?
Sure.
This sets up an amazingly interesting draft order where teams with like 80% of the pieces, like the Bills and the Bengals, could potentially draft in like the first 15 picks.
Yeah. You
imagine the Bills with like the 14 or 15 overall pick, and they go out and get another wideout, or they go out and get somebody who's way better than James Cook.
True. Hey, they have Leonard Fournette now.
And by the way, can we have a conversation about how bad the Bills' running game is? Zach Moss was a Bill last year. He goes to the Colts, and he was fantastic. Devin Singletary was a Bill last year. And now he is doing absolutely amazing things. Oh, God, it's just blanked out of my head where he is.
Bucks.
The Bucks.
Somewhere. Yes. No.
I think, isn't it? Am I losing my mind?
I mean, maybe.
Hold on, I'll look. God damn it, we'll do it live.
Oh no, he's still a Bill. Oh no. He's a Texan. He's a Texan.
That's it. He's a Texan. All of a sudden, these guys are doing really solid work because they're not Bills anymore. And what changed? The uniform. That's it.
Yeah, the Bills are not a running team anymore. And that's since Josh Allen.
And it doesn't seem like they have the capability to even pretend to be a running team.
Nope.
The Bengals have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon can break off decent runs. He can get you 2nd and 5. He can get you 2nd and 4. He can work on the screen. The Chiefs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who hasn't been utilized a lot, but he can run a nice screen on first down and set up 2nd and short to medium. So can Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco was getting like his first down average is something like 5.1 yards. He's setting you up really, really well. no one fears the running back from the Bills.
Nope.
They can focus solely on controlling Josh Allen and limiting the passing game. And right now, the passing game isn't there because they've been able to control Josh Allen. So, I think there's a lot that, but if they got out there and got a really solid running back, all of a sudden they would have to change their scheme, but it's doable. It's doable. So many maybes in the league right now. This has been a very strange year. It has not been at all what we've expected, I think. I'd have to look back and see. I'd have to go back and listen to our episodes where we did the preseason projections, but I think I had the Bills at like 12 or 13 wins. There's no way that's happening.
Yeah, I was assuming that Rodgers wouldn't break his Achilles tendon, and the Jets would be much better.
and I'll remind the audience that Craig and I had a conversation over drinks at Dockside about 6 months ago entitled, "If we cover every bet but the 49ers to win the NFC West, no matter how it works out, we break even as long as the 49ers don't win the NFC West."
That's right. And right now they are ahead of Seattle by a game. So
I got a buyout offer on our, I think, and when I say we bet on this, we put like $1 on each team. We were just like, let's see how this would happen. I got a buyout offer on my $1 bet on the Arizona Cardinals. 3 cents.
There you go. You're welcome.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 fresh American pennies if I walk away from the Cardinals being able to win the NFC West right now.
Newly minted.
Yes. Oh my God, I was cracking up. I'm like, why are you even making this offer? And I'm realizing it's because Kyler Murray came back and he had like 2 good games. And all of a sudden, DraftKings is like, throw 3 cents at him. There's like a 0.1% chance they win, but if they win like $250 off of this $1 bet.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to America's favorite game.
Okay.
So for those of you who are new, America's favorite game is where Craig and I look at the lines to try and find fantasy value. Because if you score a lot of points, you score a lot of points in fantasy. And if you don't score a lot of points, you typically don't score a lot of points in fantasy. So we evaluate overs of 50 or more and unders of under 40 to try and find fantasy usable or fantasy avoidable situations. Tonight, Craig, there are no overs of 50 plus this weekend.
I'm shocked. Not really.
Not a single fucking one. But there are 4 games under 40.
Oh.
You get 3 strikes, family feud style. Tell me, as I open another beer, one of the 4 games where the over-unders are under 40.
Oh boy.
And then my next beer is still a holiday ale, just so everybody knows.
Okay. All right.
I have to work tomorrow, so fuck it.
Under 40, huh?
Correct. And there's a lot of shitty games this week.
Yeah.
A lot of bad games.
All right, let's go with the Patriots at the Giants.
The Patriots at the Giants is a 34.
Ooh.
34. And the Giants are 3.5 point underdogs. I am seriously thinking of parlaying the Giants plus 3.5 with the over.
That could happen.
Danny DeVito wasn't abhorrent last week. I'm not expecting a barn burner, but you're telling me I can't get 35 points out of this turd burger? You're telling me I can't get 21-14?
You could.
I think the 21's on the Giants side because at least they have a running game. I might have to do that parlay.
All right.
I wonder what would happen. Hold on. While you're doing that, I'm gonna look at the
No, go ahead. Look at it.
We got time tonight. The metric is on vacation, by the way, folks. The metric has been so bad that we said you need to take some time off to spend some time with your family. And so there will be no metric tonight. We will talk about value plays or people we wonder if values plays, but hold on. If I go into the NFL app on DraftKings,
okay,
I'm going to scroll down to Giants Patriots. I'm going to turn on same game parlay. Give me the Giants. Give me the over. And give me... Who's the one guy who's going to score a touchdown? Oh, how is it not Oh, jeez. I hate when DraftKings does this. They like to put out the TD scoring odds late.
Yeah, they do that. Or like the day of. Yep.
Yeah. So I can't, like, I'm just going to say, I'm going to see if I can put, like, Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown. If I just do Giants over 34, Giants plus 3.5 with an over of 34, it's plus 260. That means 5 pays 18. Just saying. I think I would do that. And I think I would love to amp up the odds with somebody who's likely to score a touchdown. So, all right. So you got the first one. Giants, Patriots sucks. What else?
Okay, let's go.
I think that's too low. I do think they're going to hit the over there.
Let's go with two teams whose offenses are terrible right now this week, and their defenses are semi-decent. Let's go with the Steelers and the Bengals.
Absolutely correct. Steelers, Bengals. I got to see the number in front of me.
How did I know that?
35.5. 35.5, and the Bengals are 1.5 underdogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of like, just because I hate the Steelers so much.
At least the Bengals are home, I guess.
The Bengals are plus 100 money line. I might put money on the Bengals. And that's mostly out of spite, friends. Mostly out of spite.
Yeah. And then quick aside, for everyone who was complaining about Joe Burrow's compression sleeve.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
For the record, since people were like, oh, then people would have faded the Bengals. The Bengals were already plus 6 that game. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're like, oh, the Bengals are going to get. It doesn't matter. They're going to get fined. Who cares? No one cared before Vegas was in charge of the NFL, so It doesn't matter. That's it. Sorry. Okay.
And let me just tell you guys. I was in Vegas a month ago. They had 3 guys set up in the sports bar ready to take sportsbook bets at any time. I never waited to place a bet. And when I mean I never waited, I walked up to the line and all 3 tellers looked up like, is he going to come to me? Come see me.
All right.
All the betting's online nowadays. So, all right, you're 2 for 2. You got 3 strikes left and there's 2 games left.
Let's go with the Panthers and the Titans.
Absolutely correct. He's on fire. Did you cheat and look?
No.
That's a 36.5. 36.5. And you know what? I would not touch that game if you paid me. If you gave me $10 to make a $5 bet, I would not touch that game.
Oh, man.
It is that bad. I don't want any part of Panthers Titans. It's sad. Man, all right, you're 3 for 3. What do you got?
And there's one more?
One more.
Ooh.
And we've had no response from the source.
I'm kind of torn between a couple of these, so good thing I have strikes.
You have all 3 of your strikes here.
Let's go Rams Cardinals.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Rams Cardinals is a 44.5. Kyler Murray is back.
That's true.
And he might be back. But the Cardinals are still +1. I like the Cardinals +1 in that game, by the way.
Okay.
I don't know if I would touch the over-under, but I would take the +1. So that's your first strike.
Sad. Okay, let's try, since we mentioned them a lot, let's go with the Commanders and the Cowboys.
No, because the Cowboys are good against them. That's a 49.
Oh. Is that the highest game of the week?
Yeah, because there's nobody over 50.
Oh.
So there might be a 49.5 floating out there, but I don't think I saw one. The Cowboys are minus 13.5.
Wow.
That means they think this game's going to be 31-18.
Wow.
Am I doing the math right in my head? 31 plus 18 is 49, and that's a difference of 13. Oh my god. So you could take the Cowboys. Okay, ready for something crazy?
Yep.
Commanders money line is plus 575.
Wow.
I think we put $5 on it and we retire. And we
retire
when. Oh my god! Because the Cowboys always win on Thanksgiving. That's kind of a weird thing.
It's like the Cowboys, and usually the Lions do. Not all the time, but usually.
Yep. Well, there is a Lions game out there if you want to guess it. Lions Green Bay, but I don't think that would be under 40.
All right,
There's
let's go.
a couple games staring at me. I don't think you're going to get this.
I mean, there's two more games I'm looking at, and I'm really torn between them. Oh man, unders are hard. I don't think it's not gonna be Detroit. It's not gonna be the Jets because they're playing Miami. Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence scored 4 touchdowns by himself, so maybe not.
And the Texans all of a sudden have found an offense.
Yep.
Tank Dell is their Lord and Savior.
New Orleans has Taysom Hill, so there's that.
Falcons are bad, but they've been scoring.
True. All right, let's go with a team that I don't understand their record, but they're playing away, and their this defense will be home, which is a plus for them. Mm-hmm. Let's go with the Browns and the Broncos.
And you are a winner, sir. Woo. Cleveland at Denver is 35.5 and is the last under 40. Applauding for Craig.
Hey.
Craig wins America's favorite game this week. No favorable matchups of over 50, but there are a lot of unfavorable matchups, including Pittsburgh versus Cincy, New England versus the Giants, Carolina versus Tennessee, and Cleveland versus Denver. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am honored to call myself your partner today. All right, so we have nothing from the source. I think the source is going underground.
Maybe he's preparing his Thanksgiving meal. I don't know.
No, I think he's scared, and I think he's hiding.
That is always an option.
So, all right, so we're going to spend a few extra minutes tonight. So, and I did not prepare Craig for this, so bear with me. I want to talk really briefly about the Thanksgiving slate, and then I want to talk about the main slate for DFS.
Okay.
So let's talk about Thursday only. Am I not signed in? What the hell is this?
I don't know what you're doing.
There we go. Okay. I'm looking at the guy I trust the most in the world, who I obviously for purposes cannot say the name on the air, but I'm looking at his stats. So last week I wasn't on the show. I didn't get a chance to do a metric. So Sunday morning I sat down, I looked at two people I trusted, and both of them had similar outlooks on the Cardinals being big, and said, if you can afford it, use Kyler Murray, use Rondale Moore, and use Trey What's-His-Face, their tight end. So I did. And lo and behold, I cashed in almost every pool I had. Every pool I paid money to get into, I won money. So yeah, it was good. I doubled up in pretty much everything. So I did double ups. I did like the Daily Dollar. The Daily Dollar I won like $2. So okay, whatever. It's $2, but still. So this week I want to look at. So I'm looking right now at. This is the wrong slate. Show me Thursday. How is that even possible?
I don't know.
It's showing me two different values for Christian McCaffrey, 8,700 and 8,500, which is why it's weird. So, okay. So let's talk about Thursday, because there's a bunch of Thursday-only pools, right? Okay. Thursday, we got Packers-Lions, we got Commanders-Cowboys, and we got 49ers-Seahawks. So it's a short slate, but it's an interesting slate. I'm looking at the value matchups, and I'm not seeing. I'm not going to go position by position. I'm just going to talk in global terms tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey, although I'm having trouble finding an exact number on him, I'm literally showing two different numbers on him. What the hell is this? I actually have to go into DraftKings and verify his number. I've got him slated for 24 points. He's going to be over 8K. I get it. That's a lot, but if he gets to 24 points, then it doesn't matter if he's 8K. So, all right, here it is. He's 8,700. So it's not going to be 3X, but I like him a lot. I also like Dallas is not going to give up big yardage to Washington. So I like Logan Thomas because he's only 3,500, and I think he's going to get to 10 points. So I really like the two of them as starting points in my lineups this week. I mean, Terry McLaurin, he's only 5,400. Do we think Terry McLaurin's going to do anything against Dallas? I don't.
Yeah, maybe not a lot. No.
And I've given up on Tony Pollard. I'm done. The Tony Pollard experiment is over in my mind. I'm not doing it. So I'm probably going to play Logan Thomas, Christian McCaffrey, and then try to find some wide receiver help in the mid-range, like Tyler Lockett and CeeDee Lamb's 8,700. I probably would go more like a Tyler Lockett, Deebo Samuel combo, even though they're a little bit more expensive, and then try to be cheap otherwise. What are you looking at on Thursday that you like or don't like?
Thursday, here's the thing. Musgrave is on IR, and
right.
What's his name? What's his butt? Tucker Kraft, not Tyler Kraft. Tucker Kraft, he's only $2,500. So I think he's going to be a sneaky play for tight end because Musgrave is out for pretty much the year, I think. So it's a good way to save money.
It really is.
I do like Lockett because he's right in the middle. Another play that I like because it's cheap is the Green Bay's running backs are all broken. And right now, Patrick Taylor is the next man up. And again, this is only to save money. He's $4,200. So,
what are your thoughts on David Montgomery at 6,300? Is he usable?
I think he's usable. The lineup I'm going to use, I don't think I can afford him. But
short slates are tight financially.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is find one or two value plays you really like. I don't see any that jump out at me and scream. Logan Thomas or Tucker Kraft, are both really good options. But I don't see anything at the wide receiver or running back ranks that jump off the page at me like you have to use this guy. So yeah, I'm with Craig there. I think you just you're gonna have to balance and you're gonna have to try and find money to save. I think Detroit's gonna have a big day on Thanksgiving. The problem is so does DraftKings. Everybody's priced up, and that's a huge problem. You might have to use a Michael Gallup at 3,700 and hope he's the guy that makes the early splash, you know? But yeah. I mean, I like Brandon Ayuk too. San Francisco. Oh yeah, that's a night game. Oh, that's a nice night game, isn't it? 49ers Seahawks. It's a decent night game.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
I'm excited for that. All right, let's talk about the main slate for a second. All right, so I'm gonna update my sheet here.
Oh, so really quick, since we have the time.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at like the schedule. I'm looking at is also showing me like ticket prices, like tickets starting at prices.
Ooh, okay.
So I want you to guess, what do you think is the highest ticket price and what's the lowest?
Between Dallas game's always expensive.
Between Thursday and Monday.
I'm going to say Cowboys Commanders is really high.
No.
Thanksgiving Day games are usually very expensive. Bills Eagles might be expensive.
Where did they go? That is the most expensive game.
I'm not surprised.
$349 starting.
And I won't be surprised if the Bills walk in there and give the Eagles problems. But all right, so I'm going to give up on this one. Who's the cheapest game?
The cheapest game is I
was going to say Bucks Colts.
So let's see, Washington at Dallas, that's $45.76.
See, that's way cheaper than I thought it would be.
The Bucks
Dallas loves freaking Thanksgiving.
The Bucks Colts, those start at $42.48. But the lowest game, if you want to take a flight out into some warm weather, the Rams at the Cardinals, tickets start at $14.85.
$14 to get into the nosebleeds for an NFL game. That's insane in 2023. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm looking at the sites I trust, and they both like David Njoku this weekend. They both think he's undervalued at 4,100. I don't know how much I buy that. You think he can get to 12? He can get to 12 points?
If they were home, maybe. I don't know.
They're in Denver.
I don't know how he's going to be in Denver at the end of November.
Devin Singletary is 6,000. I like Devin Singletary against the Jacksonville defense this week. Rondale Moore keeps getting love from a lot of the experts. I'm not big on that. Khalil Shakir, who just keeps finding ways into the end zone, is still only 3,600. Najee Harris has dropped to 4,900 because of the timeshare with Jalen Warren. So I'm going to say right now, I don't mind starting a lineup with Najee Harris, Khalil Shakir, and David Njoku. I don't mind starting my main slate with that at all. Who do you like on the main slate of of Sunday games?
I'm still big on Adam Thielen. He's out of everything happening in Carolina, he's like one of the bright spots. I mean, he is $7,300.
What's he costing?
He's $7,300 though. I do kind of like comboing. I do kind of like comboing the stash, otherwise known as Minshew, and Pittman together. Because
That's interesting.
Minshew is $5,100. Tampa Bay's secondary is not good.
Let me look at my quarterback numbers here.
And Pittman is $6,800. So,
all right. So I got Minshew for 18 points. 18 points at 5,100 is massive value. What's Pittman costing me?
$6,800.
Oh my God, that's so doable. I could use all three of the guys I just listed, Gardner Minshew and Michael Pittman, and have like almost $7,000 per position left.
Yep.
Oh.
It's possible. It's possible.
I might have just had like a mini epiphany there. So, you know who I'm not going to touch?
Who?
You know who I'm not going to touch?
Who?
You know who I'm not going to touch?
Who?
Tommy DeVito.
Oh, why not?
I get that the kid had a good game. 5,200, and I still think that game's going to hit the over, but I can see that being a 2-touchdown, 4-pick game for Tommy DeVito.
It could happen. I mean, he had a good game. He knocked me out of suicide pool. So there's that.
And DraftKings is obviously caught up on Kyler Murray. He's back up to 6,900. He's in that. We think he might do something.
Maybe.
We're not really sure. Well,
kinda.
So this is the make or break week for Kyler Murray in DFS value. If he sucks this week, he's 5,500 next week. If he goes out there and throws 3 touchdowns, he's going to be an 8K player next week.
Yeah.
He's going to be up at Josh Allen's 8,100. And I think that is tremendously overpriced.
Oh, he should be like low 70s.
7,500 is where I'll put him. CJ Stroud is 7,700, and CJ Stroud is playing better than Josh Allen right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking at one expert who's like, oh, Josh Allen's going to score 24 points. No, he's not.
No, he isn't. Maybe for the other team when they get interceptions.
He's got him for 2.5 passing touchdowns, 265, and a 30% chance of a running touchdown. There is no universe in which he gets a rushing touchdown this week. Against Philly?
No.
If the entire front four of the Philadelphia Eagles spontaneously drop dead, then he might be able to run for a touchdown.
Yeah.
There is no chance that that's going to happen. I will absolutely steer complete 0 shares of Josh Allen in DFS this week. 0.
Agreed. I don't think I'd want any Bills this week.
I just can't trust them. You called this. I don't know who the Bills are, is what you said.
And here we are. Yep. No, here we are late in the season, and there we go. I don't know what the Bills are.
3 months ago, he said this. And every time he's had a chance to double down or back off of it, he has doubled down because he's still right.
Until they prove me wrong, which
I don't know who the goddamn Bills are.
I don't think they're going to prove me wrong this year, and I don't think they're going to have the same personnel on that team next year. I mean, Josh Allen will be there, but I think their offense is going to look very different.
I agree. I think the offensive coordinator goes. I think the head coach isn't safe. Sean McDermott is not safe.
No.
He is not safe. He does not have... You did not make a Super Bowl. You do not have any goodwill to bank on. Well, he took the team to the frickin' AFC Championship. That's nice. Not the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you think you are Marvin Lewis? Get out of here.
Yeah. Jim Kelly took the team to 4 Super Bowls.
Like
he doesn't pay for a meal.
The only person on that team who is safe is Josh Allen. That's because they can't afford to
and Stephon Diggs. I think they recognize that they need the primary receiver in place. I think they realize that more now, unless they think Khalil Shakir is going to escalate to that level, which I don't see, and I don't think they see yet. Khalil Shakir is a poor man's Mecole Hardman. There, I said it.
Remember him?
I do, because he's still on my goddamn team. And you know what? We're going to go on to final thoughts. Craig,
Sure.
What is your final thought this week?
My final thought this week is I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday if you are doing anything. That's it. Really.
And enjoy the football. Yeah, enjoy the family, enjoy the football. That is my final thought as well. I took a cruise in 2019. So I'm going to tell this story really quick as my final thought.
Yeah.
2019, my wife and I wanted to take a cruise. So we planned a cruise, a 10-day cruise to the Eastern Caribbean, but it was going to take us away for Thanksgiving. My mom had a mini fit. She was like, oh, you're going to miss Thanksgiving. It's not going to be the same without you, etc., etc. We went on the cruise. We came back the first weekend of December, and 3 months later, the world ended with COVID.
That's right.
Like, everything shut down.
Yep.
My wife got sick. She's still convinced she had COVID in January of that year. Back then, we still didn't know. In January in 2020, we didn't know.
Yeah, we went to we did our Broyers Eve, and then I got sick, and then in March, we went to a brewery, and then the world closed.
And then the world closed. So what ended? So I felt like the universe. We were like, it won't matter if we miss one Thanksgiving with our family. And the universe said, hold my beer, and cost me the next 2.5. Well, you can't have half a Thanksgiving, but it cost me the next 2 Thanksgivings. So enjoy it. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy the Oban. Enjoy whatever scotch you drink. Just go out and enjoy it. The other thing you can do is leave us a review. Whatever podcast directory you found us on, please go on there and leave us a review. Particularly reviews with words in it. Clicking 1 star and writing "ew" does not help us, but we would love to hope that you're enjoying this podcast enough that you would give us a rating more than 1 star. And if you're not enjoying this podcast, we want to hear how. The best way to reach us is by email. We are fignutsdfs@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook at the Football Fignuts Podcast. Craig, I wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving, minimal drama, and maximum football, because I think that's the most any of us can ever ask for.
Thank you very much, and I wish the same for you as well.
Appreciate it, brother. All right, we will be back next week. Hopefully the games this week, particularly on Thursday, are entertaining. I have a feeling they're going to be. It looks like a really great lineup. But Craig and I will be back next week to talk more football. Until we speak next, my name is Britt.
I'm Craig.
And we are the Football Fignuts Podcast. Hi, Deb.